So I was trying to get a handle on the homeless situation. So the homeless situation, the very general parameters, it seems like there's about 2 to 3 thousand homeless people, including 1,000 children. And the local homeless shelter, Posada, they only have so many units. They give, food and showers to whoever needs it, but they're only taking care of a small percentage, 500, maybe 800 homeless folks. So that means there's 2,000 or more homeless people. That's what are they doing? What are they doing? Finding a car, going living out in the woods. Just you have to find some place warm, right? So I called up the Wayside Christian Missionary Church, and they were closed down. That used to be a homeless shelter. So I think it's just Posada. That's it. It's getting colder. The first frost is. So he said he got arrested for a DUI. They took his car, his dog, his property, and he's homeless on the street. So the DUI laws made this guy homeless. The DUI laws did. They took his car, his dog, his property. They took his friend, his property, his car, every fucking thing. And then people want to... There was one instance where the homeless guy was asking for some change from a lady, and she was probably like real, uppity and stuck up and snarky and just like probably scared too. Like, God, I don't want to give you any money, but I don't want to tell you no. I got some money, but I don't want to give it to you because I don't want to say. And so he could tell, that she just had a disdain for homeless people. So he threw the change that he had. Hey, lady, can I have some change? No. Well, here's some change for you. And she's like, it was really stupid because she was like, I don't understand. He was asking for change. And then when I said that I didn't have any, that I didn't want to, give that you wretched cretin any of my goddamn spare change that I might have floating around in my couch cushions. And then he threw change at me. He was asking for change, and now he's throwing the change. If you wanted change, you need to keep the change that you have. He's just bad with money. This is just bad economics. So she didn't understand that. It's kind of a... So there's a guy at the library. He said that a friend had stole his car, and he was on his way to Texas, and his car had his tools and electronics, and he was waiting to go back to Texas. And then another guy said he was getting showers at the Posada, but that was it. He was staying overnight elsewhere. There was some chatter about the homeless shelter being built on Lake Avenue. So City Council, I think Ray Aguilar said it would be a good idea. The homeless need a place to stay. They found a building. They're about to buy the building. It was about to get, some staff. They said Colorado Springs Rescue Mission. The Pueblo Rescue Mission is now being operated by the Colorado Springs Rescue Mission, and it's serving up to 40 single men and 20 single women. So 60 people, that doesn't even touch the 2,000 people. When I think 2,000 people, there's two things I think about. That's, a lot of people, but it's also not a lot of people. This problem can very much be solved if we have the political will, if we actually want to solve homelessness. If we don't address the problem head on, then you're, being neutral during times of injustice, and you can't be neutral on a moving train. The Pueblo Rescue Mission building was going to move to a different location, or that's being renovated, and they're dispersing its 11-member staff and services among the housing programs it supervises around Pueblo. 11-member staff, one rescue mission taking care of 60 people. There was a man who was served an eviction notice when they saw what looked like a pipe bomb, and the incident was reported around noon on the 900 block of Spruce Street. This is in Bessemer, so it was a bomb scare, but it was an eviction notice. So they were evicting dude, and then they said, oh my God, is that, a Coke bottle with gasoline in it and a rag in it? So a pipe bomb, was it a real pipe bomb? Was it like a fucking, electronic, like people knew what the hell they were doing? Like some real complicated shit? Or just a Molotov? I'm left wondering is what's going to happen to these people that get evicted. What happens to them? We have no social safety net whatsoever. The best plan, I think, actually, that this city may go for They won't build a homeless shelter. They can't get, Lake Avenue. What the fuck, you business owners on Lake Avenue, you fucking cunts? Because Lake Avenue was a bunch of cunts. Now we're going to have homeless people all throughout the entire city. 2,000 people. We can have a Big Rock Candy Mountain. We can have a homeless town. There's so much fucking land. Buy a goddamn acre. $139 million for a fucking jail. Take $1 million, buy 1 fucking acre, get all the water and showers and beds and shit, and then, elevate the local. Pick up some of the homeless people that, look reputable and deputize them and, clean them up and then make them in charge of the place. And then they'll be the eyes and ears, and then they'll be, the ones that sift in the bull. 1-year-old Sabrina with an E, Golik, G-O-L-I-K. Her vehicle was using a police chase early Tuesday morning in El Paso County, which left multiple officers and a suspect injured. So that's weird. What was her vehicle doing, being used in a police chase? So her boyfriend or some shit were led to, I don't know exactly, but I think it was her boyfriend or maybe a friend of the family's or some shit, borrowed a car. Police are chasing boyfriend in her car. She's nowhere to be found. So her people are concerned about where she's at, and if she's, was a part of the car, part of the fucking thing, she could be at large, and missing. Of course, the police want to fucking nab her, right? And then that could be a shooting. So the family is rightfully justified in being worried about Sabrina Golik's well-being. So that's 6 wanted people who are arrested in 2 days in the Bessemer neighborhood of Pueblo as police helped recover 2 stolen vehicles. So we got bomb scares here. We got, people who have arrest warrants. But, I'm looking at some of these arrest warrants, and maybe about 1/3 of them are for kind of bullshit reasons. So that doesn't exactly mean anything. When you read the article, they'll tell you the name of the person that they nabbed and then the charges that they put on said person, but they don't tell you who did the kidnapping, who did the roughing up, who did the assaulting, who did the violent police work, and if these are bad people, then who were the heroes? Who are the heroes who did that violent police work? And, what's their evidence? What are they going on? What do these people actually do? So I feel like we're not being told any of the story, really. We're being told the accusation, and we're being told of it. So there's some heat on Sergeant Eric Gonzalez. Apparently he was off duty at the time that he's shooting at this vehicle who was his. It was his son's vehicle. So the guy is in the son's vehicle, he's driving away, and he shoots at the car. I don't see the fucking problem at all. They're saying he's off duty, so he shouldn't have been shooting. But that's actually, I'm glad somebody's, calling this shit out. But in Louisville, Kentucky, if you were off duty, you were still on duty. If you were off duty and you witnessed a crime, you still had to go after it. You still had to carry your weapon everywhere. There was this one theater that banned weapons, and the police weren't allowed in because they weren't allowed to disarm, especially when they were out in public. And so, that's scary. That's 24-hour policing, and they're, tyrannical forever. They don't get in trouble for murder. There's some interesting things that I learned here. They say that Pueblo doesn't issue any guns, no guns. The Pueblo Police Department does not issue firearms. So I don't know where the Pueblo Police Department gets their firearms. Is it all their personal guns? Do none of them have firearms? Is it all tasers? What does that mean? The Pueblo Police Department does not issue firearms. Why not? That's weird. That's crazy and weird. And is there gun control? Is that what this is? Andy Griffith Town? I mean, I haven't noticed, but do the Pueblo Police Department, do they not carry guns? That would be, fucking exciting. That'd be a nice progressive town. I'd feel safe with that. But I feel like it's something else. They're specifically pointing out that he had shot with his personal gun. So the Sergeant Eric Gonzalez, who's actually the spokesperson for the police department, he should be speaking right now. He's the spokesperson. Then Troy Davenport, the new police chief, who wasn't elected, but he was the only person that put his application in. So kind of the next in line, the establishment's successor, police chief. And he was the deputy, so he was, Velez's number 2. Now, the new chief of police may want to go ahead and do some serious discipline, and this is from Jenny Paulson. said that he failed as a commander, knowing about the misconduct and about being one of the bosses of all the above. So he had, okay, so Eric Gonzalez, he's the head of the internal affairs. No, that's not it. Scratch that. Somebody else. Some other shit's going on here in the police department. But let's take a look at Eric Gonzalez. That case, I don't see nothing, that he was off duty and he fired his personal gun, but he fired it at someone, with a stealing the vehicle. Private property. You have a right to your Grand Theft Auto. If you see somebody getting into your son's vehicle, yeah, I think you can shoot at the car. You could shoot at your son's car. The only fucking victim here would be the son. If the son was like, Dad, I'm going to file fucking criminal charges on you because you shot my damn car, I think he would be happy that he got the car back, right? Because the dude stole the car, but then they found the car later on with the bullet hole in it. So they're just saying that he fired his shot when he was off duty with his personal gun, so he should get in trouble for it. But as a citizen, as a citizen, I think he's in the right. There's this one clip I saw where the guy was on a crotch rocket, and dude comes up and points a gun at him, and then he just, hops off the fucking crotch rocket. Dude's about to steal the crotch rocket, and then there's a police officer right there, puts a, bullet right into the thief's head. I think that's just, and we have, we respect private property. So Rand Paul, he had said that private property should be defended with drone strikes. He said if someone steals a bottle of liquor, the drone strikes. They should be drone strikes. So that's how much he believes in property, right? To life, liberty, and property, right? That was John Locke. We changed it to the pursuit of happiness, which in America means owning shit, right? Owning property. So I don't think anything about this Eric Gonzalez case. He fired a gun or whatever when he was off duty, and people are freaking out about it. Now, Jenny Paulson had wrote this about something about Shelley Taylor. We need to investigate Shelley Taylor, the wife of the head of Internal Affairs Sergeant Charlie Taylor, and she pulled off duty. She pulled over off duty, fired away at suspects, and some officers and inside sources say if it wasn't for her husband's position as head of Internal Affairs, the Sergeant Charlie Taylor and another Internal Affairs officer, Sergeant Ruben Solano, whom I never once met with at the PPD or otherwise, lied and said I met him and falsely reported on an officer regarding myself, and I had absolutely no complaints about ever. Seems we have some Pueblo-style nepotism and corruption going on, and that Troy Davenport, the new chief, is the one that's... Okay, so that's Jenny Paulson. So she's kind of pointing out some other shit that's been happening. So this is just other shit that's happening, right? So allegedly he was lying to the media, and then there's also this internal affairs thing, which they were fucking with her. Ruben Solano and Charlie Taylor said that she had reported on an officer, but she never even knew who the officer was. So, she's pointing out that that's some fucked up shit that's going on too. So, yeah, I'm more worried about that than I am this, Eric Gonzalez. Eric Gonzalez, he's not guilty for this. These are this is one person's perspective, but this, it's well written. It's from it's not a crazy person. So Shelley Taylor, head of the Internal Affairs Sergeant Charlie Taylor, I give her a pass too. Not guilty for Shelley Taylor. She's shooting at suspects. And Eric Gonzalez is shooting at someone who's stealing a car. Not guilty. I give him a pass. The thing that I'm bothered by, and the Internal Affairs Sergeant is very important because that's the only oversight we actually have. That's it. And so if the Internal Affairs Sergeant is corrupt, then, we have nothing. I assume, they investigate themselves. The police police the police. They police themselves, right? But who polices the police? Now, if they're going about lying to people and saying that some people are being, complained, I don't understand why they would do that, and it's fucked up. They billed this as one of Pueblo's most wanted fugitives, one of the worst. He was taken into custody, 33-year-old Robert Tenorio, near East 5th Street and North Ogden Street in Pueblo. So he's walking around downtown. The Safe Streets Task Force listed Robert Tenorio, 33-year-old, as one of their 8 most wanted fugitives in December of 2016. One of their 8 most wanted fugitives, nearly a year ago. Tenorio has been on police radar for over a year, and at the time had felony warrants for vehicular eluding, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. Not guilty. Let him go. Let him go. One of the worst fucking criminals ever. Vehicular eluding, so he's driving away. You know, they're trying to arrest him, so he's, you know, running, and he's got drugs. Yeah. So there's a 1/5 sales tax that would pay for hiring 24 more police officers. The hiring would go to Sam Azad for right now, and so Sam Azad would be the one that would be hiring these new police officers. I would say Troy Davenport's position is going to be highly influential, since Troy Davenport, there's an interim period, you know, if strange mayors passed, or, you know, why can't they just fire Sam Azad and then elevate whoever the fuck they think is going to be the Superman? You know, is it Scott Hobson? You think Scott Hobson is going to take care of Pueblo? Then elevate Scott Hobson. Fire Sam, elevate Scott. Okay? Is there somebody else that you got in mind? You just want some mysterious fucking superhero coming out of the fucking woodwork, out of the wood pile? Is that what you want? Just some fucking strange person out of the wood pile to save us all? So I cannot accept, I was thinking about this, either question 300 or 24 more police officers unless there's an oversight board. A citizens complaint and oversight board. So when there are complaints against the police, there is a body that we can go to who, you know, after so many complaints, you get fired. After, you know, 5 complaints of rape or some, you know, serious fucking shit, and then maybe, like, 50 fucking minor complaints, you get fired. You get fired. You're supposed to protect the people, and if you're harassing the people, then you're not protecting them. So I'm against the 24 more police officers tax. Lori Winter is, you know, I like Lori Winter a lot. I think she's an exciting addition to Pueblo politics, and it's humble that she's stepping down, so I can't, you know, she's low-hanging fruit. What she's doing is humble, and so I'm not going to, you know, you can guarantee me that the police are going to be good, then, you know, then get as many cops as you want. But you're asking me to hire 24 more police officers, and I don't know any of the police officers. I don't know the sheriff's department. I don't know any of the Pueblo Police Department. So we have 200 men with police powers right now in the city and in the county. We're spending $20, $30, $40 million on, you know, police services for both the county and then there's jailers, and then there's, you know, security guards all over the place. So how many fascists in uniform do we actually have around here? And I always, you know, the security guard's going to protect Macy's, so they will look at me as a threat to Macy's. Well, you know, I'm a human being, and I care about my safety of my well-being of my person, and if somebody looks at me as a threat to Macy's, then they look at me personally as a threat. And, you know, to hell with the men. Isn't that what Donald Trump said? To hell with the men. To hell with the men. And Conway, 30 years old, had a no-bond warrant for attempted murder. Okay, goddamn. See, this is real fucking crime here. Include assault with a deadly weapon. Marvin Conway was wanted in connection with a shooting that happened July 21st on the 2100 block of Hollywood Drive that left a man injured. So July 21st, just what, a couple months ago, Marvin Conway, he's allegedly was shooting at some guy, hit him, injured him on the 2100 block of Hollywood Drive with a deadly weapon. So I'm glad they got him, right? A no bond warrant. They arrested him. The police should be staples. They should be pillars in our community. What the police need, and they should get their name and information out there, because all the police, if they truly are the heroes, if they, you know, I would say most police officers got in it probably to do some good. And I hope they don't lose that, you know, innocent, ideal perspective they first had when they first signed up, when they first said that they wanted to go do some good, when they were, you know, when they were trying to get hired onto the police force. What did they say? Was their interview? The importance for police officers to be known is that they got to testify in court if anybody says that their accusation doesn't hold up to scrutiny. So they have to be pillars in the community. They shouldn't just be cops, you know, going around attacking people, but I think they should be at our, you know, basketball games, at our football games. They should be picking up, you know, trash. They should be helping elderly women cross the street. They should give a shit. There should be community policing. So I 100% agree with community policing. Now, so I don't understand how they do the bail bond, okay? So you had Gerald Garbizo. He's a 45-year-old from the 1500 block of Pike Avenue. He was arrested Tuesday on suspicion of an unlawful possession of a controlled substance. Drugs. Possessing drugs. Being held at jail without bail pending a court appearance. David Preston Maldonado, 26 years old, of the 2000 block of Carley Drive, was arrested Tuesday on a warrant for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. And Schedule II, you know what, marijuana used to be Schedule 1, or it still is Schedule 1. So we're using the federal fucking schedule still. And Schedule 2 is less than marijuana, right? So what is that, heroin? And they don't tell me what the drug actually is. He's on a $10,000 bail. So David got a $10,000 bail. Gerald, he didn't get a bail at all. He's got to have a court appearance first. No bail for... There was this one guy, DeLuna. They took him into custody. DeLuna was out in Alamosa County. He's in Alamosa County jail right now. No bond. He's not allowed out. He wasn't armed. He was on a bridge, but he was wearing a bulletproof vest. DeLuna is suspected of trying to set an Alamosa home on fire Monday, and then they thought that he was going to travel to Pueblo to harm another family. So he's, you know, this DeLuna, he's setting fires, setting people's houses on fires in Alamosa, and then he was coming to Pueblo to attack some, you know, family who apparently crossed some boss, you know, some, drug boss, some police boss, some banker boss. I don't know who DeLuna was working for, right? That's your strong arm, that's your muscle, that's your goon, but he's being paid. So that's somebody in the middle class or above. No homeless people are associated with DeLuna. So, you know, the police are good. Whoever caught DeLuna is a fucking champion, is a hero. Whoever caught Marvin Conway is a champion, is a hero. The police should, you know, put your fucking name on that, man. Who the fuck arrested Marvin Conway? Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you to whoever that, you know, nameless person was. That's the thing with body cameras, you know. If you're a hero, you should be reported on as being a hero. That you did good shit, you know. People want to say they get bad press. Well, talk about the good press. Point out the good shit that you did. After every fucking day, write a list of all the good shit that you did. Turn it in to the commander. He puts it all together and then hands it out in a press release to, you know, all the media. So whoever caught Marvin Conway, thank you, right? He's fucking shooting people and shit, drive-by shooting. Marvin Conway should be behind bars. This DeLuna character seems like a fucking monster. He should be behind. I don't like not being told the full story. So this is, you know, probably public information, so the press is just able to get the information that the system gives out, the person's name, arrested, what they're charged with. And then that's it, whether or not they could get bailed out. So Gerald Garbizo can't get bailed out till he sees a judge, which is actually, you know, they just caught him, I guess, at the bad time. But then David Preston Maldonado, but how long is he going to be in jail? He should see a fucking, you know, a bail bonds judge, like, immediately. Call the motherfucker at home. You know, this guy is in jail for this and that reason. And yes, we should have pre-trial services. Get in there, interview the person, assess the risk level. But they both had Schedule II controlled substances. So both of these is for simple fucking drug possession. So the war on drugs is flooding our fucking jails with victimless, non-violent so-called criminals. I don't believe they caused the crime. If you just possessing, seems highly ironic that 99% of the people voted for the candidates, the 1%. That Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are both rich as fuck. Both of them are part of the 1%. So 99% of the goddamned American people voted for their rich, wealthy oppressors, while only 1% voted for the candidate who was for 99% of the people. Maybe 99% of the people should start voting for 99% of the people. You think we could try that? You think we could do that a little differently? 1%, you know, the fucking 1% candidate where the sheep is going to vote for the wolf, the warmongering, the right-wing warmongering candidates. Maria Cruz, 21 years old, and her 2-year-old son, Gabriel Trujillo, was seen last Thursday in the Pueblo area. This was a missing case. I hope Maria Cruz and Gabriel Trujillo, pretty sure this is an old case, so this isn't a brand new thing. This isn't happening again. They said that she was driving a red 2013 Mazda 2 with temporary Colorado plates. She's a 5'4" white woman with brown hair. Maria Cruz, or I guess that's a Ted Cruz, Gabriel Trujillo, Trujillo. That's they were last seen in the Pueblo area. Then here's the license plate number. She's got custody of the son. So I hope Maria Cruz and Gabriel Trujillo is found and they're safe. That was an old case, but the story just said that they were kidnapped, and that's it. It was never updated and said that they were found. So is Maria Cruz, has she been found? 21-year-old Maria Cruz and her 2-year-old son Gabriel Trujillo. And then it also seems suggested that it's probably, what, the ex? But if it's not the ex, who is it? William and Deborah Duran filed a few instances which, I wonder about. There was a shooting in Colorado City. There was another shooting. A guy, apparently tried to run the police over, and they shot and killed him. And then there was 2 people that was killed in jail. So there's a lawsuit, too. The guy said that he was held in fucking jail for 2 fucking months, even though he had, the charges that was against him were so fucking minor, so insignificant that they were dismissed. So he is suing, the jail system for fucking with, he was in another jail. Pueblo was supposed to pick him up, but even when Pueblo did pick him up, Pueblo held him for another week. Meet the jail immediately. The fucking judge needs to be talked to immediately. Assess the fucking threat, and then, either bond them out or keep them in. Let them know something. That's just the peace of mind of just knowing what the fuck, leaving people in limbo like that. So there's a search warrant for this. So I'm happy that they caught the person who had killed Ricky Muniz. Ricky Muniz got shot in Bessemer, right here in the alley on Logan, in between Route, and Spruce. So the alleyway where Ricky Muniz was shot and killed was by, I forget the guy's name, Timothy something. He went to jail for 14 years. So they did catch him, but apparently they caught him through martial law. So the police were, going around looking for this killer. Now they thought that he was around, this one couple's place. He was supposed to have a ankle bracelet, and the ankle bracelet said he was around the house, but no evidence of him going into the house. So the tenants who had lived in that house had been kicked out. So the SWAT team, whoever was leading this fucking raid, was absolute fucking bonehead bullshit mistake, and they should be fired. They should be fired for what they did to this elderly couple. So they're looking for, I think Timothy Tafoya. So Tafoya is, I don't even know why he's got a fucking ankle bracelet. They captured him and then they let him out on bail. That seems insane. Maybe he was supposed to have, he was under house arrest anyways. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. That part doesn't. But what they did is they harassed this poor old couple. They're older couple, right? So he doesn't look like Timothy Tafoya, who's in his 20s. They're in their 60s. It's a man and a woman, elderly man and a woman. And then it said that he was crippled, or he was, had surgery, or he was disabled. And so they're making him bend over and, all contorted, and they fucked up his back, and they give him irreparable damage. So they harassed him, they humiliated him, and then they also injured him physically for no fucking reason. Him and Deborah Duran, the only reason that they were harassed was because they were living in the same household that Timothy Tafoya and his family or friends or whoever he was living with were living in. So that was their crime. They lived in the same house that fucking, a gangster or a thug or just some dumb shit did some dumb shit thing. Is it just a fucking second of insanity, or is this a organized fucking shit that happened? I don't think so. I think it was just a senseless fucking murder. So William and Deborah Duran filed a lawsuit against Pueblo so that maybe they'll get some justice against Pueblo and 2 police officers and a detective. So I would like to know who those 2 police officers and a detective is. And they said that their Fourth Amendment rights were violated when they were detained on the night of September 18th, 2015. So this is just 2 years ago. So this is bullshit, and I hope William and Deborah Duran wins this case. Unfortunately, the city is the poorest out of the District 60, District 70 schools and the county. The city of Pueblo is the poorest out of all these municipalities, these jurisdictions, these little mini governmental hierarchies. So William and Deborah Duran didn't deserve it. They're suing the city of Pueblo and the 2 officers and a detective. This is the reason why we need personal insurance on the police officers. That way, when the police officers are sued, it comes out of their insurance, and it doesn't come out of the insurance of the city. But see, the city is going to protect these fucking officers. The city is going to pay for it. So this is a collective punishment on us all. Every single one of us, $1 million that goes towards William and Deborah Duran won't go towards, the golf courses, air conditioning. So, that might be an okay thing. But there's also parks and other shit that, perhaps the city, there's so street cleaners a lot. So good job for the city for always providing street cleaners. Please clean up the street. I wish you'd actually clean up this fucking parking lot too. I mean, this parking lot has goat heads. I need to write, this shit has been bothering me for too long. I need to write a letter to that Catholic church and say, can we do something here? And then write a letter to Public Works and see if we get a street sweeper on it, because these goat heads have been going on for such a long time. It's incredible. In my yard, if I water just any bare ground, I will get like 100 goat head fucking, seeds sprouting. And that means it's saturated. It almost seems like there's more fucking goat heads than there are dirt in the dirt. And that's, that means the goat heads have been piling up for fucking decades. And weevils, somebody kind of was making fun of me, but I think weevils, that's the end-all fucking solution. Pay $100 for some weevils, let them take over, the town, but they'll die out as soon as the goat heads die out. There's a drive-by shooting at a house on the block of 2900 block of East 13th Street about 2 a.m. on Thursday. So these drive-bys, what the fuck? They said there was a party. They shot through the door. They heard a loud noise. They noticed that the glass to her storm door was shattered, and then the bullet hole was located in the front door. So the reporting party, no, never mind, it wasn't a party. It was the reporting party. So that's, you assume they're the one that's in the right. The first people who call the police, you assume they're the ones that, they're the victims. Though that's not always the case. Not always the case. People who reach out to fascist thugs may just want to carry on their fascist thuggery, which is why we need anti-fascist cops, cops that go to a scene, notice that there's one bully and there's two bullies, be skeptical of them. Go up to them and, that's weird that there's drive-by shootings going on. I don't know who this person was, East 13th Street, so that's, in the city, that's Pueblo City. After being rejected by their mother, the Pueblo Zoo welcomed 2 new bison calves, so we're saving the buffalo Sid and Ginger to its exhibit. So that's nice. The Pueblo Zoo, when its own mother, which, what's an explanation for that? Their own mother's rejecting them. Their own mother. Why? That's against nature. What the fuck is that about? Why did that happen? That's not natural. That's not supposed to happen, right? But it does. So I don't understand people that act like, I can't believe that woman shot her own kids. In Pueblo West, there was a jailer, which, big shocker, from Fremont County, that fucking diseased fucking shithole. Those jailers they're rapists, and they're shitty over there. And I hope that shit ain't here in Pueblo either. That jailer killed her own kid. With a gun multiple times. Shot the dogs, shot her kid, shot herself. Like a fucking psycho, like a fucking sick oppressor, dead on the inside, humanity-less fucking psycho, a psycho oppressor who must control everything around them and kill everything around them. That's who that woman in West Pueblo was. And then people want to act like, well, she was a mother. It makes no sense. I mean, buffalo, they reject their fucking, young. And then, isn't there some creatures that eat their own young, snakes or something? Robin Williams used to have a joker, the genie. Now I know why raccoons eat their own young. Now I know why, I don't know, fox, wolves, I don't know. Something, but shit happens. People are animals. What you think. This isn't in Pueblo, but this is Colorado. Some fucked up shit. Principal, retired athletic director, resigned. Oh, resigned and retired, huh? Sounds like they were fired. But anyways, high school cheerleading coach was pushing the cheerleaders down in splits. The former coach, Ozell Williams, was dismissed shortly after the videos became public. And now the athletic director and the Colorado principal is stepping down. But Ozell Williams, they're doing splits, and he's pushing them down. Split harder, split harder. They're like, please stop, please stop. And it was filmed. The film comes out. They got fired. So what the fuck? That's weird. That's so fucking Ozell. Is that a dude? Is that a man? And even if it's not, what the fuck? I mean, you're stretching the ligaments and shit. I mean, is that how it's supposed to happen? Like, people understand their breaking points. So to push them, he could have injured, like seriously fucking injured. And it's psychotic to these fucking oppressors, right? Do this, do that cheer, go do this, run here, do that. Now do the fucking cheers I told you. Now do the splits all the way down. Like I told, no, all the way down. So, fuck these people. They want to, if they could destroy the humanity of people, then they could destroy the bodies. I just don't see, why is that so shocking to people? It's oppressors. The oppressors hierarchy, that's the fucking problem. That's how Nazis got away with their shit. The Nazis got away with their shit because Americans were too fucking obedient. And they didn't, the so-called good ones, if you're an angel, but you got no power and you watch evil happen in front of you, that's basically like participating in it. Or, fuck, do something. Maybe you couldn't have done something about it, but why not? Because you don't have power. Are you going to have power the next time you see shit like that? How often are you going to witness that shit? So angels without power is the devil. Angels need power to stand up to the oppressor and oppressed. I think of that Australian kid that body slammed that one bully. That one guy was just like, you want to fuck with me? Then his buddy, oh, this is getting sad, bro. This is getting sad. Well, I thought you was going to hit him. I thought you was going to, what's going on? Sitting there baiting him and shit. And then that Australian dude just body slams that kid. And TKO'd him. And then he wasn't even apologetic. He was like, well, he was bullying me earlier, You don't understand the life that actually, I could understand that other poor kid. The dad was fucking oppressing that kid. So he's just, transferring his bullying ways on down. But that's the oppressed and the oppressor. The bully is the oppressor. The one who body slams is Antifa. And you should nip that shit in the bud. That's how Hitler got away with his fucking shit. It wasn't nipped in the bud. You should be tracking these white nationalist groups down. You should be paying attention to these violent Nazi fucking thugs, these Confederate assholes. They're violent thugs. And I got here, some landfills recently received case-by-case approvals from state or local authorities to dispose of oil and gas industry low-level radioactive waste. Bogman said it has become clear that what we have out here is an unlevel playing field at solid waste landfills. Excuse me. Oil and gas companies in Colorado extracting fossil fuels from more than 55,000 wells generate roughly 500,000 tons of solid waste per year, including low-level radioactive waste. Oh, man. Pueblo. We have private trash companies here, 3 private trash companies, and they all got, I think, their own landfills. I'm going to take a look into that Monday, I guess, or maybe this morning Saturday, but how much radioactive waste is in our landfills?